Hong Kong is the city with the most expensive rents in the world. For thousands of people, the only possibility to have a roof over their heads is to live in a 1.5 square meter cage without.
But when people start thinking about Hong Kong, I think people put in mind China, the place is the other world, is the best world in the life, is the best place to live. But when you see the real life, it's not what people expect that place to be. Don't you understand?
Ventilation, without natural light, and overcrowded, or spend the night at the nearest McDonald's. Hong Kong has more billionaires per capita than almost any other city in the world, and at the same time has one of the worst housing problems on the planet. It is said that Hong Kong has the most expensive housing in the world, above cities like New York or Singapore. Here, a 10 square meter apartment can cost up to 300,000 or.
But there is people, if people really pay that thing, I think it's people that born in that place because I'm going to be honest, I live here in the States and to pay that price to that small place just because you want to live in China, that doesn't make sense.
$400,000, 200 million colons. This is because the territory of this special administrative region of the People's Republic of China, better known as Hong Kong, is only 1,100 square kilometers, and in those 1,100 square kilometers, between 7 and 8 million inhabitants live. But the most striking thing is that of the 1,100 square kilometers, only 25% are habitable. The other 75% are protected areas and national parks.
But how you gonna protect areas where people need place to live? It's good to protect, but it's good to make people feel good because you don't going to protect something for animals when people that work for the country need those places to live. I don't understand what I'm saying.
Which means that in that 25% of the territory, they fit these 7 or 8 million people to live. That's why they have to live vertically, because there's no space left for them to live otherwise. And that makes each. The subway is too expensive. And if we add to that the fact that the government makes a profit from each sale, and that it is not beneficial for them if the land price goes down, we get this: beehives, where the residents of this city have to live practically in overcrowding. To learn more about this,
This is what I'm talking about. Like, is the people, if people really need place to live, why you should do that? Like, that doesn't make any sense. That I think they're so smart, but that type of thing explain to someone that you can be those mind the world, but you're always going to miss something. Everybody learn from people. Don't be like because everybody know that there too many people in that place. So if they don't have enough place to live, that's and the people in the country, like the big people in the country, say, okay, we don't have people to where people to live. Let's leave them there, do whatever they want to do with their life. I don't care. I'm going to protect the place. They can do this. I don't know too much about this, but I think they can do like, okay, we protect this place, but we leave place people like 50-50 or 70-30, like 70 to the people, 30 for the to for the not for the outside, I don't know the English, but outside when the trees, yeah, for the trees.
reality in Hong Kong, which is a brutal contrast, totally different from what we have been encountering. Super modern buildings, areas with luxury cars. We came to this place called the Monster Building. It is popularly called
By that name, I know what you expect.
the Monster Building. They are 5 interconnected blocks where 10 live. 1,000 people. In fact, tourists can be found here taking photos because this place has become extremely popular. It has even appeared in movies, but behind such a visually striking place, there's a hidden reality that's too harsh. These 10,000 people live in a block of land. Behind this
God damn, imagine 10,000 people in your apartment. Yo, that's crazy, gonna be honest. That's crazy. 10,000 people in one place, that's crazy. Now imagine if that place like take fire or yeah, take fire and those 10, I don't expect that to happen, but imagine that happen and those 10,000 people lost their house. And in that 10,000 people, obviously going to be a percent of people that they're going to die. Maybe they're sleeping or something happened. It's like, that's crazy to live with it. It's like every day you need to pray to make sure everybody's controlling everything.
Facade, there are apartments measuring 15 to 30 square meters where entire families live. It is noted that some of these places have very little natural light. They live as if in confinement, that some have no ventilation, and we are in Hong Kong, a place with extremely high humidity.
That's not good. No ventilation. That can kill someone. That can make someone die or thing. That dog. You know that thing I'm saying, like they so smart but they act so dumb in some type of places. I think maybe because of the people the people that live there are too many, so they don't want to throw themselves in everybody. But live in a house for no ventilation, that's crazy.
A hot place. And you can see in a place like this how they have to make use of every. You can even see that some have built things like temporary bamboo structures outside their apartment to keep doing things out there. Almost all of them have some type of cables or a small railing outside where they dry clothes. At least those who have the opportunity to
Yo, imagine you live up and then you put your clothes there and your clothes fall down.
access apartments that open to the outdoors, because inside the spaces are too limited. Imagine a whole family, all the beds that have to be there, the kitchens for a family of 5 or 10 people. If we stand in the very center of this complex, it's
Nah, that place no good to live. But imagine small, 10,000 people, no heat, too much. It's too long. Like there is not too many. There is not too much. How this word? There's not too much air. There's not too much zoom. You understand? There's not too much that. There's not too much. There's too many people. The place is so small, bro. That's like living here, and you paying. That's the craziest thing. That you pay for live in a suffer place. Like you pay for suffer.
overwhelming. You feel like you're out of breath. Look at this with me. If we turn the camera, we find that we are completely enclosed in 360 degrees. There is not even a
This is what I'm saying. Like you pay for suffer. Like coño, you need to do. Yeah, you need to. Hmm?
view,
Know what's good and what's bad for you.
not even to the front. There is an even bigger building over there than the ones here. And the most striking thing about this place is that the people who live here are fortunate. They are people who can at least live in an independent apartment, in a private apartment.
Yo, that's great because imagine if this place the good one or the normal good, imagine the worst one.
It is estimated that 20% of Hong Kong's population lives in poverty.
This what I'm talking about. Like people expect them to be the richer, the cleanest one, they do the best one in the world. They like, but when you don't know someone, don't judge them because you see everything you see on TikTok or Instagram. Oh, they are clean, they're good, they did that technology, then this that. But when you see that thing like that, it's other world. It's like other thing that you don't even expect them to do.
That means 2 million people live in poverty. And out of those 2
That's all. That's the all. This more or everything in my country. I live in the state, but my country sort of is. I live in. I'm from another country. That place we like 1 million of people there in that place that we live.
2 million people, there are between 200,000 and 300,000 who live in one of the most extreme and cruel housing conditions in the world, called cage houses. I don't know if we're going to be able to document this. It's something very hidden, very closed off that is found in Hong Kong. But basically, as the name suggests, they are literally enclosures in mesh, measuring 2 meters by 1 meter, where people have their entire lives. That's not just their bed, it's not just where they sleep, no.
traditional dropshipping.
Bro, me, I cannot live there, bro. I can't, bro. I need space. I need to move. I need to breathe. That's the important thing. I need to breathe. No, bro. There's things that they don't supposed to do. Like, anyway, and don't just know one because you would never know how people have the problem. Maybe they don't have the money to pay the good place. So it is what it is to them. But thank God, I'm not them. I'm not in that position. But that position is not good to live. Like, you need. That's sad to see. You know.
Books, their belongings, their bed, everything unfolds there. The stairs and hallways are relatively clean. It's only the trash that is found on the outside, but you can see it's very clean, despite so many thousands of people living here. That's how this looks inside. I imagine that each of these doors are the homes of the people who live here. All of this entire place, this monstrous building, and the way they live here is just the beginning. In fact, from here upward is the best way someone can live in Hong Kong, as I was saying, in their private apartment. Now we are going to what is there, below this and above the cage houses, before falling into the cages and onto the street, which are the small apartments divided among many families. Even this is indicated on the ground.
I don't know, but I need a hair because imagine some old woman in Hong Kong cutting your hair like this, bro. That's can be. I'm going to do that in the future.
Look at the sign. Look to the left. Make sure nothing is coming and go for it. I need you to pay full attention so we can have the best context for what we are about to see, which is going to be very impactful. And I will show it to you with real data. Look right now where we are in the middle of the street, and these signs here are from different real estate agents, apartment owners, who need either to sell or rent them. In this first column are the apartments that are for sale, and on these signs, we have very important data such as the building's age, the square meters of the building, which is in feet, the price, and the location. Depending on how close it is to the subway or places where you can move easily or that are quiet, it's more expensive. For example, this one on the corner where we are, an
Wait. It's my mom.
apartment of 29 square meters is worth 3,900,000 Hong Kong dollars. Those are like 550,000 US dollars. An apartment of 29 square meters in a building that is 44 years old. Unaffordable. So,
That part is older than my mom. My mom, I don't know what to say the age, but that apartment is more like that. More, there's more than my mom, and I'm 17. So, it's coño. That place so it's old.
if you do not have $500,000 to buy an apartment, what remains, of course, is to rent it. So, we come to this other column, where it says that renting an apartment, for example, this 40 square meter one costs 15,800 Hong Kong dollars, which would be approximately $2,200 per month, in a place where the average
Oh fuck no! Who compare that shit?
salary per person is $2,800. So, renting the apartment costs 75% of your salary. However, not
I think the price is so up. I think the price is so up because the way that there is too many people and less house. It's like when you sell. If I sell this water, like let's say the normal price, I think, example, $1. So I move to the desert, like not like the desert, because there's no water there. I sell this $20, and if you say no, it's more probably that they say yes because there is no water there. So this one going to be like, I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Like this house is a place. This place is a place that there is too many people, but not too many houses. That's why the houses like that are so expensive. That's the only reason I see. Because if you tell me that this house is like that, all the no, that's a scam.
Everyone has a salary of $2,800. Not everyone can afford it. So there are several options when you cannot rent an apartment alone, privately. The first is to go live with your family, have your family give you lodging, and grow there, basically, not leave. The other is to marry someone rich or a rich woman. And the third option, which thousands of
The second option, someone can do that actually. Like you go to a country, or you go from one country, you marry someone just for her. Maybe that happened to someone, but I think that's okay. Come side, you know.
migrants who come here to work, seeking opportunities, and who do not have family choose is to rent a shared apartment. Because the real estate agents say, if we can't rent the whole apartment, let's divide it into 5 or 10 and rent it.
Oh, I like privacy, bro. I don't think me, David, can do that, bro. It's not like that. I'm not trying to be like that, but it's like I don't like to. I like to be by myself in my room like this. My mom there, I'm here doing my thing, this, that. I like that. I don't like people to.
Look, for example, at this 10 square meters at 4,200.
If you're from a country and your country doesn't have war, doesn't have any problem, I prefer you to live in your country, like you don't have no war, nothing. Because if you're trying to find a better life in a place that people live there, but they live in these conditions, it's better to live in your country.
Hong Kong dollars, which is $600.
You, just you.
Like I don't even understand. Like it's better to live in your country because this place is too expensive to pay. Like just for that, even if you share the house, it's still expensive. Like what I'm going to do.
For 10 square meters. We are entering one of these buildings that are approximately 40 or 50 years old and smell very bad. First, it's like hot, smells very much of humidity and like dirt, like when you leave clothes for a long time. What we are going to see is even illegal in Hong Kong, but the government cannot do anything. Look at the state of these apartments. They are literally falling apart. And this
That thing I'm talking about, like it's not good. That condition is not good for a human being.
that we see here is a type of bedroom that is like the cages I have told you about. But this cage is within a space of at least 8 or 10 square meters, where we can find a kitchen, a sanitary.
That's why be grateful for what you got, because imagine people living there daily. So they need to deal with that daily. Yo, you notice that I got the 2017 calendar? Yo, that's yeah, like 5 years now. Or more than 5 years now.
Service, a bathroom. But there are even people who live only in a cage without the rest of the space. Look at this, for God's sake. Imagine living like this. And they tell me that 4 people lived in this room. Imagine a family, or 4 people, for example, 4 different immigrants, living together in this space. The other bed probably had to be put on the floor. And over here is the toilet and bathroom. Look at the space. To bathe, they have to sit on the toilet and pour water over themselves.
Now imagine this, chat. Imagine this. You here doing your stuff. Is probably there is a percent that sometimes water is going in this place, and the way you can see it, there is kid stuff, like kid things here. This is for kids. This probably for kids too. Things for kids. So someone is living there with their kids.
This is how they have to bathe all over. Imagine also the mess that can be made in the house.
This is what I'm talking about. Like the water going to be in all the house. See, there's a kid in this house. See this.
I can't even turn to the sides. This type of
Oh,
housing
there's
is
that
very
door. There's
shocking.
that door. Maybe
Here
that
is
door
the
hide.
sink, the rice cooker, the fridge here, which they tell
Yo, this looks so interesting. I'm gonna be honest, like this radio. See this? Yeah, there's a kid. See this draw? Like there's a kid, stuffs kid.
Tell me not to open. I don't know if it smells really bad, but that's it. Very shocking. It's very difficult to see this from the angle. The buildings are too slanted, so they block our view. But there is something extremely illegal that is found in many buildings in Hong Kong. And you can see at the top an extra apartment, an additional room to make more
Yo, they put their room here to get more people probably.
money and take advantage of more space, which is illegal. And this room is called the oven room, because as you can see,
That mean I know Spanish. I speak Spanish actually. That mean they like that I don't know room mean I don't know room mean como que it's a room, but I don't know the name is in English actually. I don't know like something that you put to decorate. Yeah, to decorate like decorate room, something like that.
it is a tin room on the top of the building. Imagine the sun there. That reaches
Yo, that's facts. The song got
40, 50 degrees easily during the day. See how auto workshops have to operate due to the space. To fit 2 vehicles here, they need to have a hydraulic lift to work on both.
It's
Charlie,
dangerous too, right?
estimate how much it costs to have a car and park it in Hong Kong. If you have a car and need to park it, simply to have it under a roof so it doesn't collapse, so the paint doesn't get damaged.
Make sure it doesn't form an ugly dry spot there.
A drop on the windshield.
I don't think it's cheap.
It is more expensive to park the car than one of these 10-meter homes that costs $600 a month.
Better to
That-
park and sleep in the parking lot.
That place is scam actually. It's what it is. But that place is scam because everything is so expensive.
If one had a car here, one could literally consider renting a parking space and sleeping in the car. Because parking the car, brace yourself. Hold on, Charlie. Take a breath. Parking the
Parking lot not supposed to be free. Where the fuck you want me to put my car in my head?
car monthly can cost about $800. A parking space of 12
Oh,
square
fuck no.
meters under a roof. Because you can't waste even a meter. You can't give away parking. It's a luxury.
I think there is a word that they use for this type of people. People that like to scam people. Like greedy people. Because are you going to pay $800 for 1 meter? What the fuck? Hell no. Fuck no.
In these buildings we have here, you find the cage homes and coffin homes of Hong Kong. Houses where many people prefer to live on the street rather than end up in these houses, if you can call them that. They are places divided into 15 cages of 1.5 to 3 square meters, what you are seeing here. Places that do not even have natural light, where people live in total overcrowding. The bathroom has to be shared, the kitchen has to be shared, and mostly elderly people live in these places. It turns out that this is one of the places with the highest life expectancy in the world.
Bro, and this about the life, this is a good and bad thing at the same time. Because the good thing is like you live longer, but the bad thing is like you live longer, but poor. And imagine the suffer.
It is a very safe place. Practically no accidents happen, so the population hardly decreases. And approximately 40% of the elderly in Hong Kong live in poverty. They can
That's what
end
I'm
up
talking
paying from
about.
$200 to $400
Imagine
monthly
being
to live in these
8
cages
years,
you are
18,
seeing. And living this
80.
way,
Imagine being 80 years old or 70, but still need to work for yourself. That's is sad.
imagine all the things it can cause. It brings mental problems, a sense of isolation, and social rejection. This is what the housing crisis in Hong Kong has come to. This is why you find so many elderly women like this lady going through the trash. They dedicate themselves to recycling, and that's how they make a living. And also, it is very striking that down here, normally on all the first floors, commerce and life take place.
And probably all the people in this place live in those apartments.
And already on the second floor, up there, you can perfectly find apartments like the ones we saw or cage homes. These houses, in theory, are banned by the government because they do not comply on the regulations.
This means the poor live in houlas. Is like when cells, the poor living in cells in Hong Kong,
Not even
one on top another one, and the place they live is 1.5 meters square is with box. It is with box.
even sanitary measures, but they cannot remove them. Because if the government suddenly removes the cage homes, what will they do with that 500,000 people? There would be a humanitarian crisis in Hong Kong. One of the things that keeps land and housing prices so high in Hong Kong is that approximately 30% of the total income that this government has depends of real estate. That is why, despite 75% of the territory being national park,
I don't know. I don't live there. I've never been there, but I think this place is so expensive. It's so expensive. It's so scam because the government is making it be scam. I don't even understand what I'm saying. Like, because if you think about it, this place, I don't really know what to say about
parks and undeveloped. The government cannot simply give up land for construction there because the land is auctioned, not even sold. Then, multi-millionaire people come and offer and offer and offer, driving the prices sky high. And besides, something very strange happens here. If you buy that building or an apartment, you only own the apartment, but not the land. The land belongs entirely to the government. You simply kind of rent it for 50 years or 99 years. And when that period ends, it is not like in Costa Rica, where you bought the land, you inherit it to your child.
In my country too, it's like that. You buy a land, that's your life. That's your land for life. Like for life. Like yeah, that's yours. You die, your kids have that land. Everybody can have that land. If you put that people the name to have the land, they can have it. There's nothing about the years of the land. Even if you got land there and you see gold or you see oil, everything you see is yours.
Your child will decide what to do with it, whether to sell it or pass it
Yes.
down to your grandchild, and so on. Number.
Mine too.
At the
Mine
moment that
too.
period ends, you have to renegotiate with the government to see what they are going to do. That crisis
Oh fuck, no, that is a scam.
in Hong Kong has even reached McDonald's. And you might be wondering, how? Well, it turns out that among the homeless or people who live, for example, on rooftops that get extremely hot during certain seasons, these people come to spend the night at McDonald's. In fact, I just came to tell you about this issue, and that McDonald's in Hong Kong specifically has an open door policy allowing people to spend the night here as long as they don't cause problems. In fact, there is a season when too many Chinese tourists come, and the Chinese tourists have strict rules that they can only come a few times, like twice a year, for a limited time, because otherwise they would overcrowd this territory. But in a certain season when too many Chinese tourists come, they prefer to spend the night in McDonald's as well, to save on accommodation, or because there is not enough lodging for everyone. But the thing is, I just came during the day to tell you, and I think that in the back, even at this hour, there is an elderly person spending time here at McDonald's, asleep, because there's air conditioning here, better hygiene, and better conditions than in a shelter or at their home. One of the solutions they are looking for to address this problem is for the government to build houses, to provide a kind of housing voucher, it could be said, for the people. For example, these complexes that are here behind are public apartments that the government provides to people. However, to be able to apply for one of those apartments, you first need to obtain a passport, the Hong Kong residence, for which you have to stay here for 7 years. And remember that many immigrants and many refugees arrive here. So, after those 7 years, you finally apply for a waiting list that can take between 8 and 15
Oh
years
fuck
to
no.
allocate you one of these apartments.
Who go to that?
These are the famous oven apartments that I mentioned. We got access to the top part of a building, and from here, we can see a lot of houses up above. This is illegal in Hong Kong, but it continues to happen due to the scarcity and need for housing space. Look at the height we are at now. And if we look here in front, we find a tin house. Then, this other structure that is already made of cement. And so on the top of almost every building in this city. All the space problem even reaches the hotels. I'm going to show you our humble abode. I will tell you in advance that 3 men are living here, so don't judge this mess. This is a room of 18 square meters that costs $120 a night. And what catches my attention too much is that I asked for a triple room, and what they did was extend a sofa bed. There aren't even rooms for 3 because there's no space for another bed. We have what you see here and this bathroom, where everything is designed with efficiency in mind. This bathroom has a shower on this side, and the person using the toilet is enclosed by this door. Look at this. Charlie and I don't even fit in here. This is where the toilet.
There's 2 things. This player is so like in problem, like social problem, or no, 3 things actually. 1, social problems. 2, that is a scam, or 3, that is a scam.
Is. And if I come and someone needs to shower, I simply close here, and the other person showers right next to it. Efficiency. And so, finally, my friends.
Well, that is good though. If you think about that function, that you can close 3 places with it: the bathroom, the place that you take a shower, and the other place.
Today's video ends. I have to say that this is one of the most striking realities in terms of the way of living.
This video, I think you need to see the real thing about the life, like the real one. What people don't count about that place, because that place is so fucked up, so fucked up.